All right. Well, it is currently January 1st, 2021. It's about 4:40 in the morning. I'm coming up on 24 hours of no sleep. So that's something new. Happy New Year to everyone else out there. I guess we'll get this ball rolling. This is second podcast that I'm doing. I'm trying to stay, you know, try to stay on this thing. As you can already tell, there's some new additions to the whole thing, including these lights. Which I don't know how I feel about them. They seem, they're great on my end, but on camera they don't look so good. They look a little too bright, a little too flashy. Whatever. I like them. All right, they look cool in the room. All right, they give it a little, better glow. I can change colors and all that stuff. Um, so it's a real good time. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. We got some blue going on. Yeah, we got a lot of nice little colors here. I think we got a green right here. We got some red. Ooh, red spooky. Check that one out. We got some orange. Okay, some yellow. See, we got purple. All right. Oh, that's wow. All right. So let's go back to the yellow one. Yeah, here we go. All right. Yeah. So let's leave it right here. All right. So I guess we'll kind of bring up what's been going on. So now I just got back from ice fishing with a good friend of mine. We just finished up around 3:30 this morning. Um, we're not out for long. Didn't whatever. We are just kind of testing the waters for the winter and all that stuff. Um, just seeing what it is that we could do. Um, Ice was solid. It was nice. Good 4 inches thick. Plenty enough for what we needed. So we were just doing a little bit of catching on stuff, and we're sitting there talking, and all that stuff. I think the temperature when we were out there was like a little bit under 16 degrees or something. Might have been 14 degrees or something, whatever it was. But it was perfect for what we were doing. And so I guess I'll get into the nitty gritty. When we're sitting there talking, we're sitting on buckets. We're fishing. We got a fish finder. That whole radar, whatever you want to call it, the whole deal. And so we're sitting there talking. We're just exchanging stories and everything. And so we were talking just about some stories related to work. Now, for me, I work in construction, so I was actually working today. I'm building a room in a basement out in Woodstock, and what do you call it? I'm sitting there. It's just two of the guys that I'm working with are old timers. They're in their 70s, and so I'm talking with them and all that stuff. And one of these guys was from the Navy. He was an older guy. He was like 72, 73, something like that. And so anyway, we're talking and we're talking about we get into conversation of death, right? And so we start talking about just stories and all that stuff because he had gotten diagnosed with some disease. I forget the name. What he said. I think he said it was something similar to bronchitis or something like that. But there was like a whole mess with it. It was like a different whatever form of it or something like that. But he had gotten diagnosed when he was like 55, and he was talking about a couple of the other guys that were had the same disease, had gone to the hospital, pretty much after the first time. They were like, yeah, can't breathe so well. So these guys, they go to the hospital once, the doctor's like, oh, they're fine. Second time, do the EKG, all right, you're fine. All right, third time, hey, can't breathe again. Give them some medication, whatever. They're fine. But then the fourth time, it happened with three of these guys, which is what was like so, I don't know how to say it, unique about this situation. And so these guys had this disease, and on the fourth day, right before they were supposed to go and see a specialist or something on the fifth day, they ended up walking out of the hospital. Two of the three died. Walking out the hospital, just straight up fell down and had a heart attack or something. They just, their heart stopped working and they just died right there, right outside the hospital, right on the ground. And the last guy died in his sleep. He had gone home that day. He was feeling all right. He was supposed to be doing some work. went back and sat in his chair, and let's just say he never got up again. So, that's what we were talking about. So we were just talking about this whole thing. And we get on the conversation of the whole work and death thing. And so, talking to this guy, and he's talking about he used to paint houses. And so he was painting this room in this nice big fancy mansion, something like that. And so what happened was there was a kid that was in one of the bedrooms, right, that he was painting. And the kid comes up to my friend and is like, "Hey, paint this room black." And my friend's like, "Whoa, what do you want to paint it black?" Because black's kind of a strange color. It makes a room feel small. It's good for in-home theaters and all that stuff, but it's really not good for much else. And so, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to put on some neon lights in there, similar to the ones I have in my room, that type of thing. Some movie posters, just stuff to make the room look good, with the black paint." And so my friend's like, "Okay, all right, yeah, we'll get that done." And so, like a week goes by, and he, paints the room black, gets the trim, doors, all that nonsense painted. And so after it's all painted, he comes to work the next day, and there's a caution tape around the house. And my friend says to the supervisor of the job site, "Hey, what's going on here?" And the supervisor says, "Oh, sorry, no work today." And he's like, "Oh, what happened? Why not?" And it turns out what had happened was, I will say his next part's a little graphic. For those of you that got issues with death and all that stuff, you might as well just skip ahead or whatever. What had happened was the kid had, in lack of better terms, blown his brains out in his bedroom. That was painted black and all that stuff, and it was just like a huge mess. I wasn't given details exactly on if what had happened, if he had a mental condition, what was going on. But that's how it was told to me, that story. And I just thought it was something, just kind of to think about, just something to kind of ponder on. Things happen just like that. Like I was talking about these other guys, they're dying on their way out of the hospital, they're dying, on their couch at home. It was a depressing topic. To myself, it wasn't so much of a depressing topic, but to most people, that is, a topic that you want to not talk about. Which I understand. And, so I guess where I was going with that was kind of, really think about how you spend your time, who you spend your time with, and everything. Because, hey, it could be, you never know when your last breath is, that type of thing. Because we were just sitting there talking about all that stuff, and, myself, I like to take advice from old people, because old people are at the end of the road, someday that I might get to. You never know. So I take a lot of advice from a lot of older people on what to do and all that stuff, and, how to act and all that. And so, I brought up that story just kind of, get the wheels turning and thinking, kind of like what I was talking about in the last podcast with the goals and all that stuff, with that whole thing. Just because try to better yourself before it's too late, hey, people OD every day, people, kidnappings, you name it, all that kind of, all that craziness that goes on, all the crazy stuff that goes on. It's a lot of disgusting things, but it happens. It's what goes on. It's very unfortunate. Luckily some of it is, stopped and all that stuff, but, it ain't really my place to be talking about a lot of that stuff. I just want to bring it up as a story. And so, anyways, we're heading into the new year. Just, keep a lot of those things, on your mind. Not only on yourself, but on other people too. Because, what's going to happen is, at least the generation that I'm from, the younger guys, it's going to be a big struggle in the future. It's going to be more of a struggle than it was for a lot of these millennials and the guys, growing up in the 70s and 80s. It's going to be a whole lot worse. Everyone's, it's like everyone in my grade has got, like a therapist or a doctor, or something they're seeing on a weekly basis or something. Whether it, I'm talking more of a state of mental health, right? I'm talking there. I'm not necessarily talking physically. I'm talking more mentally. And so it's going to be quite the time when everyone's growing up, and I think it will lead to some pretty bad things. But anyway, it's you never know. Things can change. People change. Obviously, as people grow up, mature, they change. They realize different things. Certain things they decide to stop doing. Just all that stuff. And so yeah, all that stuff's going on. And another thing I realized with the other, I mean, changing topics now, right? I'm done talking about all that stuff. Next topic I'm going to talk about is with the other podcast videos. So I'm still getting used to this whole editing thing, right? I'm still getting used to everything. Like, I understand, camera quality, it can only go so far. I try to do the best I can with sound quality and all that stuff. But as far as, videography, I'm not, I'm still learning all that stuff. And with the editing, too. So I realized that the comments were turned off on the other video. I'm going to try to see if I can fix that and all that stuff. I believe that's why there's one dislike, because someone couldn't write it in the comments, so they decided to do that, I mean, whatever. It's on me if that's the case. But yeah, I'm just trying to, kind of go through the flow and, find out everything and see what I could do, as far as, everything goes. But yeah, I guess we'll get into, a lot of ice, right? And now we're changing topics again. Yeah, pulled a sneaky on you. Now we're talking ice now. Tell you what, no, we ain't talking ice. We talked snow last time. We don't need to hear any more about ice. It's all around us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, now we got the new year. The whole new year, new me bull. Bull crap, whatever. Whatever's going on with some people. That was, it's always the same thing every year. The gyms are packed, right after, New Year's with all these, people saying, this is a year I'm going to get in shape. And, most of them end up looking like human bowling balls anyway, regardless. Don't end up like one of them people, that spends $40 a month and doesn't use their gym membership. That's how they make money. They make money off of guys like you. But yeah, I mean, everything, it's always different for different people. I mean, prioritize what you want done, what you want to get done. School's coming up. Just all kinds of stuff coming down the pipeline. I don't know how it is with everybody with money and all that stuff, but here's what I've kind of figured out. And as there's money everywhere. There's I'm not even playing with you. There's always something you can do to make a buck. I mean, hey, put it this way. My younger brother went out and shoveled driveways for 2 hours and got $70. You know what I'm saying? He just shoveled 3 driveways, right? And that was the night that it snowed. So I mean, there's some money right there. You can make money. I mean, hey, you can make money scrapping. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you see an aluminum can, tell you what, do yourself and do everyone a favor. Clean it up, put it in a trash bag, collect all that stuff, and take it to the scrapyard and get money for it. It's not a lot, but hey, it's better than being broke. And, you can upgrade from there, go trash picking on the nights and pick up big old honking chunks of metal and take those to the scrapyard and, all that whole thing. Just to keep the money flowing. Otherwise, if you're sitting there broke and you're sitting there, relying on the stimulus check and all that stuff, it will catch up to you. All right, I mean, hey, it's gonna catch up to everyone anyway. I don't know very much about taxes yet, but what I can tell you is when someone says something's free, it's not really free. It's just paid for later. Or paid for in a different manner. So yeah, this whole free college, free free healthcare, free whatever. Dude, you're living in a fairy tale. You're living in a big fairy tale. No, the money that Uncle Sam picks from your pocket, yeah, no, that's what's paying for that stuff. Ain't nothing free. Nothing's free around here. I mean, hey, we're in Chicago. You think things are free? No. And so, anyway, don't be getting fooled by any of them scams. I mean, I hear a lot of these, a lot of these kids going, no, because some of them are, related to me. I got some family that acts like this. Like, oh, the free college, the free, scholarships, all this other crap. It don't matter, dog. It's just getting paid for by, the hardworking, tax dollar. Um, but yeah, it's just be careful with all that stuff, especially with like this new stuff of putting stuff in needles and just willy nilly going and shooting it in you. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Yeah, we're in some touchy territory, right? Because I've been affected by this myself, through family and all that stuff, and family friends, and that's on the topic of cures for things. Okay. So, cancer, as we all know, has affected a lot of people and has been going on for quite a while now. So let's put this into perspective. Figure how much it costs for all the treatments, that cancer patients go through, all the surgeries, all the time, all the bull crap that goes along with, having this, terrible thing happen to someone, right? Figure all the money spent, insurance premiums, everything. So let's say all that goes on, and still nothing has been developed to be able to solve it or to cure it. Right now, I'm no doctor, okay? I'm just a kid with a hat, all right? And so there's that, but now we got this, this disease that just showed up out of nowhere, and boom, within a year we got a cure, like we got a vaccine or something. Like no, dude, that's a load of crap. Like, dude, there's no, like, you're selling me snake oil here, dog. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You get this disease, and I don't want to call it a disease. I don't really know what to call it. Maybe a health condition, maybe something that's been going on for a long time. A lot more people have died, I can guarantee you, from cancer than, the vid, And, it kind of stuff just really I just don't like to think about. Because, if you can create a cure or a vaccine, whatever it is, within a year for a disease, but you cannot create a cure for something that's been going on for a long time, there's some issues there, all right? And that tells me, it's modern medicine ain't there. It's really just there to rob you, that whole thing. But yeah, just keep a watch out. I mean, hey, if you're gonna start shooting yourself with needles, know what the heck is in it first. I mean, I'm not getting on the bandwagon of the whole, autism and all that stuff. I'm not getting on that bandwagon. I'm just saying, if you're putting stuff in your body, know what's in it, right? It's the same reason why, you got to get off fast food and candy and, energy drinks and all that. It's the same reason you got to get off that stuff. Because you're just putting stuff in your body that you don't know a lot about. But, they're selling it to you pretty hard. To me, it's the same thing with vaccines and shooting needles in yourself. All right? Hey, know what's in it. All right? It's going in you. It's gonna change your body. Whatever. Know what's in it. That's just my 2 cents about it. Whatever. Take it or leave it. Whatever. Maybe to you, you're all like like if you don't, I don't care. I'm not gonna get into that stuff. Yet at least. But yeah, I guess we'll talk about the the next stuff and all that with the obviously we got this new year, new president, whatever. I don't care how you feel about him. It's a president, all right. I don't care who's a president. For all I care, you can put a monkey in there. You got to be very mindful of other people and their own opinions. I try not to lean either way. I try to just stay in the center because it's two rats in a race. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're leaning strong to either side, you're just a part of the game. You're in the game of the whole. Well, if he wins, life will be better. Like, no, that's not how that works. That's not how that works, dude. It's all about money. All right, you just gotta follow the money. Come on. When was the last time that there was a guy in the White House that like actually gave a crap about the people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe Kennedy, all right? Maybe Kennedy. And that was back in, whatever, the 60s, right? And what happened to him? He got whacked, all right? He got clapped. There's a whole bunch of stuff about that. You could go even further and say, hey, when was the last time that the president actually knew what his people were doing and knew what was going on? Well, then you got to go way back. You got to go way, way, way back, And, you just got to, a lot of things with politics, it's all shenanigans. All right, it's all about the he said, she. It's just high school. It's literally freaking high school with adults. It's stupid. It's all about oh, well, he did this. Oh, well, this guy did this. Oh, well, he can't pronounce that. Like, who gives a crap? Okay, I don't care. All right. So when you talk about politics with people, dude, you gotta you gotta get your panties out of a bunch. All right, like you can't be can't have any Nazis going around. Any of that type of stuff. Or like it's either their opinion or no opinion. That whole thing, right? At least learn to converse with people. Or have a regular debate, not one that starts out with manners and all that stuff, and then later on it escalates into something that's just completely out of proportion. That whole thing. And also know if you do end up in this rat race in the game and you do choose a side, whatever, know what your side actually stands for and understand that it's not a generalization thing, Because if a very good, thing that was given to me was it's kind of like public transportation, all right? Not everyone's going the same direction you're going, but you're all going to the same general place, right? If you're all taking the train from, whatever, over by, the Arlington racetrack, you take that all the way down to the city, right? Call it that, right? You're all going to the city, but you might be going all the way, to North Chicago. Someone else might be going to West Chicago. Just you get what I'm saying. So you just gotta take the whole politics thing with a grain of salt and kind of just, know your own, needs and everything, which I think people try and do, but they try and, use, the whole political rat race as a scapegoat or something, as to, blaming other people, that they're not doing good, which in some cases is the truth, but in most cases it's just because you're too stubborn to just move on. Hey, if they close a job market, you just move over to the next job market. It's not a big deal. It's what, we've been doing for lots of years, right? I mean, hey, the country started out with bison rolling everywhere, fur trapping, hunting, fishing, all that stuff. There's always a way to make money. Okay, there's always ways to make money, and there's always ways to make a living. All right, but if you're too lazy to not, go and get that work and go get the money, and you want to sit at home and just be broke and pout about it, then get out of here. Just get out of here. That ain't cool. That's just a waste. Wasted talent, wasted everything. You could be really good at something and just don't know about it. You're wasting talent, you're wasting time. It's like what I was talking about before. You don't know when you're gonna die, dog. You better figure your stuff out. And I don't know. This is a little more of a serious one. I don't know. This is what's on my mind right now. I'm insanely tired, dog. I got now we're coming up on 5 in the morning. Whatever. It's getting real sleepy out here. But yeah, I mean, hey, I enjoy doing this podcasting. I enjoy talking. It kind of gives me a little bit of a chance to recoup and everything. Just to talk about things. I ended up when I went ice fishing today. I ended up trying out them new boots, some thick ones. Those things are warm. Feet were sweating with those guys, even though it was below 16 degrees. Which is incredible. Come to find out, I mean, down the road I'll have them on. My grandfather used to be a union crane operator, and he actually wore the exact same boots that I wear when he was working in the wintertime and all that stuff. And so he's just, I don't know. Someday I'll have him on and he'll tell stories and, all that stuff. 'Cause I'm trying to still trying to figure out a whole formula for this whole podcast thing. If you got any ideas or anything, you can direct message me on Instagram, or leave a comment, or whatever. I'm always open for ideas. I'm still new to this whole game, just trying to figure out what I could do. To make things a little bit better, make things a little more enjoyable. You know, See if these lights were a good idea. If not, I'll go back to my little desk light that I got. That's totally fine with me. Um, but yeah, hey, no, yeah, 2020 was kind of a wash, depending on how you looked at it. For me, it was not a wash. For me, I made a lot of money in 2020. Um, I don't want to get on a whole bragging train and, do numbers and all that stuff. But it gave me a very, very good starting ground to start my own company and all that stuff. And gave me a lot of opportunities and all that stuff. But it's not something, it's not like it just, came out of the blue. You got to do a little looking around, which, hey, that's all part of the whole game, of figuring things out. But hey, it's, I ain't no special guy. I'm just your average Joe. I'm just a part of a middle class family, I ain't nothing special, and most of you probably are in the same boat that I'm in, You're just trying to make it by, do your schoolwork, make some money, that whole thing. You just gotta take it a little more seriously. If you don't, say maybe you like to ditch class, go out and party and all that stuff. Hey man, you do you, whatever. Just, I understand it most likely will catch up to you down the road. And if it doesn't, hey, you probably just don't notice it. you know. But yeah, man, it's just a lot of wasted talent. There's tons of wasted talent. Kids. Hey, not even kids. Even adults being afraid of doing something, being afraid to make that leap of faith, make a big financial decision, whatever, all because they're a little scared. And when in reality, that's the thing that could have made them a lot more money and could have made them, a lot more successful in life. I try not, I don't want to use money as a measurement for success. Because success is completely different. You got some people that actually give everything up to be homeless just because they enjoy just not caring. They enjoy being able just to sit there and, not do anything. Others, they're there for a reason. They're there, because of the drugs and spending all the money and, just being financially irresponsible. But yeah, just figure out, what it is that you like. Figure out what it is you're good at, what you want to do. Try new things. Hey, especially if you're younger. Like myself, I'm only 18. I've tried out a lot of different things, a lot of different, job types. I've kind of narrowed down what I enjoy so far. Obviously, it changes down the road, but for me, it's construction. For you, it could be making a pot. You know what I'm saying? You could just be making little clay pots and all that stuff, and you enjoy that. It's artistic. It's work. If you're selling it and you're doing all this, you're working, dog. And maybe for you, it's hey, maybe you like doing paperwork. You know what I'm saying? I don't know a lot of people that like doing paperwork, but maybe you like doing paperwork, right? Maybe you like keeping, track of financial records or tax records and all that other good stuff, all right? And hey, you better be good at it, all right? If you're going to do something, better be good at it. No, I ain't trying to be no motivational speaker or anything, but, I'm trying to share, what's on my mind and how I feel about things, whatever. Just make sure, take care of the people around you, especially in your family and all that stuff, Gotta be, gotta make your life worth living, If all you do is sit around and don't do anything, what's it worth? Yeah, I get it, 2020 was a wash-up. Like I was saying, though, you can always make a bad situation better, Hey, just figure stuff out. I guess going to the next thing, I saw this, one of my friends recommended to me this movie, I think it was called Django. So I ended up watching Django, and hey, it was a good movie. It's definitely not something for, the faint-hearted, like, yeah, I don't want to give any spoilers, but, there were a couple, scenes of, rape, and there were some scenes of, using the hard R It's a movie about I don't really know how to explain it. It's kind of this guy looking for his wife that was sold into the slave trade, and he was traveling with this other guy to go and find his wife. Um, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but when you talk about when you're talking about the slave trade and all that stuff, you're talking a gruesome time. You know what I'm saying? That ain't no walk in the park. Whether it's for the um, whether it's the Africans coming over, whether it's the Irish, whether it's the you know the British and Irish whole war, whether it's the blacks over in the Arabic countries, um, whether it's the whatever, you get the point. All right, you get the point. Um, but it's a movie. It's a very good movie. Don't get me wrong. It's a very good movie. There's a lot. It's a long movie too. I think it's like 2.5 hours or something, close to 3 hours. But it's a very good movie. Yeah, there's some funny scenes in there too. Like, I'm not gonna spoil them. But there were some funny scenes in there. There were some serious scenes in there. It was kind of one of those movies that just kind of jumps into all the emotions, which I like those movies. Just because you grow an attachment to the characters, which it isn't that bad. I mean, I think Jamie Foxx. That was one of the guys, if you know who that is. The other guy, I don't know who it is. Leonardo DiCaprio was in the movie. Um, it was a good movie. All right, it was well written. It was, like I was saying, it touches all your emotions. It's a pretty good movie. Um, but yes, it was something that was recommended by a friend that I saw, and it was very good. I enjoyed it. So maybe you will too. Another movie that I saw was called Bloodfather. Now Bloodfather, it's another gruesome movie and all that stuff. That one didn't touch all the emotions. It was more like an angry slash how do I put this? It was an angry slash um, resentment type movie. I don't really know how to explain it. Um, it was basically this guy that was an alcoholic, went to prison, got out. His daughter was kidnapped by the cartel, and it was basically his quest to go and get his daughter, while the cartel was after his daughter for killing one of the cartel members. That's why the daughter was, being kidnapped and all that stuff. I mean, that's a small chunk of the movie. It's a lot. I'm not spoiling anything there. Mel Gibson's in it. That's pretty much all I know about that movie. There's motorcycles. It's out in it's kind of out in the country. It's like the desert. You know, it's that whole scene. But yeah, it's a good movie. It was a good movie too. Um, Trying to think. Let's see. What else? What else? What else is new? What else we got new around here? Yeah, it's a thing. Right now I'm doing it by myself. I'm tired. It's early. I'm still trying to crank out these 3 a week. So not trying to slack or anything. But even once I get some guests on here, things will be a lot better, right? Because I'll have another perspective. It'll be easier. You're not going to be hearing my voice all the time. You're not going to be so tired of it. You get some fresh new stories, some fresh new people. Maybe some you like, some you don't. I can guarantee you, next one you're probably not going to like. If you attend my school and all that stuff, you're probably not going to like them. If you do, though, hey, more to you. Actually, I take that back. No, you'll like them. You'll like the stories and all that stuff. Stories are good. Stories are good, and just the opinions too. Those are good. Try to keep them as, I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe mine are biased. I mean, obviously they're gonna be a little bit biased, but I try to try to find a middle ground. All right. But yeah, it's pretty much everything. I'm still trying to figure out lengths for the podcast too. I mean, I know the last one was 45. I'm probably gonna cut this pretty short, a little bit shorter. Maybe 36, 37, whatever it is. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. Everything going on. But yeah, that's kind of how things are going right now. I know I covered a lot of various things, and kept the topics kind of short when I talked about them. But yeah, that's everything. So yeah, I hope you guys had a happy New Year. Um, good luck to you for this year. That stuff. Obviously it probably won't change very much, but it's just yeah, we'll see how the year goes. Good, bad, I don't know, but you got to make the best of what you got. But yeah, you all have a good day. Like, comment, subscribe. The whole deal. But yeah.